From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, November 9th, 2015. Silver is trading at $14.73 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,094 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $383. And HowWar.com reports over the weekend there was fighting again raging across southern Yemen, with 29 people reportedly killed in Taiz as fighting there between the Shiite Houthis and the pro-Saudi forces continued. 8 of those killed in Taiz were reportedly civilians, and no real territory in the area appears to have changed hands. The real change in the war was farther south in Dalia and Laj, where Houthi forces returned to areas they were previously pushed out of and have suddenly returned in force. At least 30 were killed in fighting in Dalia, though the offensive in Laj appears to have gone off with no real resistance. Pro-Saudi forces downplayed the sudden Houthi gains, the first in many weeks, and say they're confident that they have stalled the advance. Yet the shift in territory gives the Houthis control over an area not far from the pro-Saudi capital of Aden. Also significantly, the Houthi gains allowed them to recover some of the Bab al-Mandab coast, which may allow them to restrict the Saudi naval blockades movement between the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. Previous use of the area by Houthis to fire on the blocking ships was a big reason for the Saudis to push into the area in the first place. For over 35 years, Robertson Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. UPI reports millions of people voted on Sunday in Myanmar's first openly contested national election in 25 years after decades of military rule, where Nobel Peace Prize laureate Aung San Suu Kyi's party is expected to win most of the parliamentary seats. There are about 30 million eligible voters in Myanmar's elections out of an overall population of nearly 54 million. Many lined up to cast votes before the polls opened at 6 a.m., and demand was so high that some polls were extended past the 4 p.m. deadline. There were more than 6,000 candidates representing 90 different parties for the 664-seat parliament. The Union Solidarity Development Party, backed by the military, has been in power since 2011. A quarter of parliamentary seats are reserved for unelected military representatives who are expected to side with the USDP. Suu Kyi is banned from Myanmar's presidency as the constitution prohibits anyone with foreign offspring from the post. In a press conference on Thursday, however, Suu Kyi said, "I'm going to be above the president. I have already made plans." At least 100,000 people were denied voting rights, including minority Rohingya Muslims, leading to questions over the fairness of the election. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need SpendABit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. SpendABit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. spendabit.co. Reuters reports a Canadian Pacific freight train carrying crude oil through Wisconsin derailed on Sunday, knocking 12 cars off the track and spilling oil in the state's second derailment in 2 days. No one was injured in the incident in Watertown, about 50 miles west of Milwaukee. Earlier on Sunday, the BNSF Railway had said its crews had stanched the flow of ethanol from a freight train that derailed on Saturday about 140 miles away in Alma, Wisconsin, after thousands of gallons of the denatured alcohol leaked into the Mississippi River. In that incident, 25 cars derailed about 2 miles north of Alma, a rural community close to the Minnesota border. BNSF said on Sunday that crews in Wisconsin placed a containment boom along the shoreline of the river and started to pump the remaining product out of the cars. Work on repairing the tracks can begin once the derailed cars are put upright. The railroad said it expected the tracks to return to service Monday morning. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.